Welcome back to The Battle. I'm Matt Sidholm, and this season, Jenn, Tully, and I are setting sail on a journey into the world of yacht rock. We started with 16 songs across 4 brackets. Each week, 2 of the songs went head-to-head, and we are trying to decide the ultimate yacht rock song, and that's what we are here to do today. It's the finals, and we are bringing together What a Fool Believes by the Doobie Brothers versus This Is It by Kenny Loggins. My first thought here, Jenn, was that there's actually no losers because we've got Loggins and McDonald on both sides of this contest, right?
It's 100% right. I mean, I feel like, 2 legends are going to enter the marina tonight, but only one's going to leave with the captain's hat, right? Like, here we go. But I think I think this is our deal. We do have the same songwriting duo, which makes me really happy. And we also have sort of the reigning champ, right? I feel like our job here today is either to concur with the original opinion that What a Fool Believes is the ultimate yacht rock song, 100 on the yacht ski scale, the whole deal. So we're either here to say, yes, even after 20 years of this conversation, that's still true. Or you know what? Whole lot of conversations have happened on this topic since that was sort of first decreed. So is there a case for This Is It knocking it out? So that's kind of how I approach this week. Are we confirming the reigning champion, or are we saying, yeah, lots happened in the world of yacht rock since this designation was originally offered? So that's kind of what I feel like we're here to do.
Agreed, yeah, because there's no doubt everyone considers these 2 songs certainly part of yacht rock canon. And
Sure.
I mean, What a Fool Believes is undoubtedly kind of, like you said, the reigning champ, right? That's just what everyone thinks of this song. They both had interesting stories as far as how they came together. We talked about this in earlier episodes, how Michael McDonald was just kind of tooling around with something, and then Kenny Loggins happens to stop by, and they're like, hey, let's write this hit record, right? And he helps them finish it. And then Kenny Loggins was writing This Is It, and then kind of was inspired by his father in the hospital, and just sort of trying to get him to fight a little bit through his illness. So that's kind of where the emotion of a song like This Is It came from. I think for me, what stands out, and Kenny Loggins put it perfectly, is This Is It is not a love song, it's a life song.
Right.
Is the way he put it. And to me, that is more of an embodiment of what you want to feel in a yacht rock setting. If you're on a yacht versus, again, What a Fool Believes has a great vibe, but when you dig into the lyrics, I'm like, this isn't the happy song necessarily.
No, I think that you're right. And that's one of the points that I sort of put on my notes as well. We agree, both tracks are defining moments of the yacht rock era. There's no disputing that. They both have, the slick LA production, immaculate session musicians, a blend of pop influenced by soul, West Coast cool, all of those things that we've used as our criteria all along. These check off the box. So now we're into the details. We're into the minutia of what both songs bring to the table, and I just think that, let me say, I'm happy that these 2 songs landed here. I think they're the right ones, even though I really had a lot of hope in my heart at times for some of our dark horse candidates. I was rooting for Escape, the Pina Colada song. I was really rooting for Sail on Sailor also. Yeah. I thought that was a really cool new twist. But I think that these 2 songs are kind of where we land. And I think it's evidenced by what you led with when we first kicked off the conversation, is that it's the same songwriting duo, literally both guys. This is a McDonald Loggins match off, and it's just determining which song fits more squarely. So I think that you're right, that not only is What a Fool Believes kind of innately sad, it's wildly self-delusional also, to the point where you kind of start to feel sorry for the guy, where you're it's he's so lost in the delusion of what he thought this relationship was, that it's almost cringe. You know what I mean? It's not even hey, buddy, come over here, let's have a convo. I don't think she's really into you. I mean, it's he's far gone. And so the more I listen to it and the more I live with it, the more I'm it is kind of sad how delulu he is, right?
Yeah. Well, okay. So this brings a thought to mind, is that let's think about someone who's on a yacht and or owns a yacht, okay? Are they more trying to overcome something, or are they more self-delusional? Right? Because like let's think about a Jeff Bezos, right? Like he's got a super mega yacht, right? I would put him in the more delusional category at this point than maybe trying to fight through something, right?
Well, I mean, I feel like, is there a short king category we can add? Like, because I feel like that's what it's about. Like, if you're a manager,
okay. Maybe
not
Jeff
6 feet
Bezos
tall.
is a bad example.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I don't know. But I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, yes, does the self delusion serve the genre, not take away from
Right.
it? I
Yes,
don't know.
that's
It's an
what.
interesting
Yeah.
question. It's an interesting question. I think that I think that for most people that are escaping on a yacht, they probably want to. They probably are focusing on the positivity. At least that's what I'd like to. I'm thinking that they're not buying $1 million boats to like to compensate or support some sort of delusional state that they're living in. Like that feels like a bigger problem too. Like so. I think whenever we're having this particular conversation, I would say
Yeah.
This Is It pulls a little bit ahead for me because it's a happier song. And I think also too, it's like a purpose song. I think a lot of these are so airy and floaty in terms of
Yeah.
yacht rock songs that this one too, I do like that it has like it has direction. You know what I mean? It's not sort of just like floating along. It has a direction. It's giving you a command. It's encouraging you to do something positive to hopefully, broaden your horizons. Like the song, like the song in the water, the open water in front of you would suggest, right? Like that's sort of how I'm thinking about this. And then for a song like This Is It too, you've got those really telltale signs that this is the song you're listening to, right? That opening and What a Fool Believes, the do
Mm-hmm.
do do. I mean, you hear the first few bars, you know what song you're listening to, but in This Is It, those horns come in and you're like, oh, okay, now I'm feeling a little bit stronger and taller, so I think that I don't know, I think from a vibe standpoint that This Is It does hit the yacht rock vibes a little better for me now that we've gotten into like not non-surface level, not just listening to the hook, but like understanding the songs. What a Fool Believes might just be a little too sad for me.
Well, and I think the trick that it pulls off is that you're right. That beginning piece is so like happy and airy that it's like you're just immediately kind of put in a good mood. And you wonder how many people have ever sat there and really dug into the lyrics. And I mean, even though the title is What a Fool Believes, it's not even necessarily a positive title, right?
Right.
But I think the trick it pulls off is that once it starts, you are kind of in this like kind of happy place. Whereas This Is It starts off a little bit more slowly. And I think that's maybe what draws people into What a Fool Believes a little bit more. And probably the definition of like a great pop song, right? Is just that it does just capture you right from the opening notes. These are both Grammy winners, so it's not like one was, more highly regarded critically necessarily. But I do think to your point about it is sad, but I do think the trick it pulls off is just that opening rhythm that just sort of draws
Yeah.
people in, and it's like, no, nothing's wrong, everything's good.
It's good and it's crafty that way. Maybe that's
Yeah,
it. Maybe that's how you get the yacht, right? Is being the smartest guy in the room. And that's what they did with this song. They created a riff that's just like completely like you can't get it out of your head. You immediately know what it is. Maybe that's the genius of it. But I don't know. That one that kind of stuck for me in terms of, where we're going to find a winner, right? The happy sad was a big sticking point for me. Like you said, critically, they were both pretty well received. Maybe What a Fool Believes was a little more critically lauded because it got
yeah.
Grammy Record of the Year in 1980, and I think This Is It. I think it maxed out at number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100, which nothing to sneeze at. I've never maxed out at number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100, so
Not yet.
Not yet.
Jen.
Not yet. There's still time.
Yes.
So I feel like, you're right. Like critically, they're really kind of in the same spot. So then I think we move to our third, right? We've sort of talked about feeling. We've talked about critical. Now let's talk about cultural. This is kind of where we
Mm-hmm.
also land. I think What a Fool Believes is maybe more recognized for the reason we just talked about. But
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
I, I think, I think most people know both of these songs, though. But I think as I was going through culturally and trying to figure out, like, okay, what are some things about each song? So, I think in the camp of What a Fool Believes, Michael McDonald named his memoir What a Fool Believes. So I think that
Mm.
tells you what an important song this is for
Yeah.
him professionally, personally, all of it. That kind of stood out for me. The other thing was, and I don't even know if we got to this on one of the shows. I was looking back through my old notes, and one wacky note that I found about this song that I was like, okay, this is kind of weird and cool, was that Michael Jackson has an uncredited claim to this song. Did we talk about this on the show at all before?
We did not, but I read about this leading up to the
Yeah.
finals, that it's
Yeah.
not actually true, correct? But it's actually
Well,
Michael Jackson kind of maybe put that out there or something.
yeah, it says. I mean, it sounds like it's unclear, but Michael Jackson, jokingly or not, some sources are unclear, claimed in a 2003 conversation with Elizabeth Taylor to have contributed an uncredited backing track to the song. I mean, can you believe this? This is insane. But the band
I
has
just love
denied
the
it.
idea of Michael Jackson and Elizabeth Taylor talking about the Doobie Brothers. Like, just
Well, they were
that
BFFs,
sentence. I
right?
know, but just that sentence just kind of like makes me laugh, just putting all that together. I don't know.
Well, and the fact that like kids that are listening right now know who Elizabeth Taylor even is because of Taylor Swift right now, right? Like, I mean, the music conversation is just it's a cyclical universe here, fam.
Right.
But and then and then of course we can't deny that this song also, as we mentioned at the top of the show, has 100 on the Yacht scale, which is a perfect
Yeah.
score for a Yacht song. So it was also a production miracle. We've talked about how they had to piece that opening together, and unless you
Yeah.
have a music degree, I don't think you can tell me what 7 chords those are. I really don't. Like,
Right,
it is
right,
such
yeah.
it's a production marvel, that song. So those were kind of my like hot list for What a Fool Believes, and then I sort of turned it from a cultural standpoint and like, okay, what does This Is It have going on for it? I think it was the theme song for NCAA basketball. That's huge,
Yeah.
right? Culturally,
Yeah.
I think that's a big one. And it has a 4 on the Yachtski scale with the score of 98.25. So
Yeah.
not shabby. I wouldn't be mad
Yeah.
if I got either of those grades on a test. And then I think too, this is a story that I love about it, is it was a personal victory for him, right? Like,
Yeah.
he was able to return to the hospital. He played the song for his father that night. His father underwent successful heart surgery, and he lived to see Kenny Loggins win a Grammy for the song a year later,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of a really cool, uplifting, yacht rocky, aspirational sort of thing to happen, that kind of puts it in there. And then the last thing I'm going to say before I know we have to determine a winner. I'm prolonging the inevitable here, but if you look at the album covers for both of the albums that these
Okay.
songs are on, okay, I'm taking it. This is where we're going to go because I'm still in my cultural references lane.
Yeah.
I think maybe you don't get any more yacht rock than the Keep the Fire album cover. If you're not familiar, everybody Google Keep the Fire. It's literally Kenny Loggins, who looks like Jesus, holding a ball of light with like water behind him. And I mean, it's super yacht rocky. Whereas the Doobie Brothers Minute by Minute album cover is a great iconic album cover. It's another one that people recognize in a moment, but they could be like anywhere, right? There's nothing that really evokes yacht rockiness to me in that black and white album cover. So that's the other thing I'll say, is that if we're figuring in album covers, and I think that there's something to that, Keep the Fire is a way more yacht rock than Minute by Minute.
Totally agree. Yeah. And in fact, when you said album covers, I immediately had that one in mind, and I couldn't even come up with the Minute by Minute one in my head. So yeah, that's a really, really good call out as far as differences. I thought it was interesting too. You mentioned earlier that, Michael McDonald, like, this is probably what he's best known for. Whereas I feel like Kenny Loggins, when you talk about, I mean, he had so many soundtracks in the 80s. And, Danger Zone is probably a more popular song and more notable. People just kind of know that one.
I'm All Right from Caddyshack.
I'm All Right from Caddyshack. Right. And so it's like he's got all these other
Footloose.
Like
Can't
hits.
forget Footloose
Is just massive. Yeah. I mean, so I do think when people think of Kenny Loggins, This Is It is not the like first song that comes to
You're
mind.
right.
And with Michael McDonald, like this wasn't a solo record for him. I mean, obviously he was part of the Doobie Brothers at this point, but it is his voice. That's immediately I think this is more towards the top of the list. And even some folks have said this is the best Doobie Brothers song, right? Like that is out there. So yeah, that's where it's like it kind of tilts the scale for me back to What a Fool Believes, that it's like, well, this is kind of pinnacle for them from like if you're going to know these guys culturally, it's because of this song. Whereas Kenny Loggins, you might kind of in a roundabout way learn about This Is It after going through all these other hits.
All right, so I'm gonna throw one more thing into the mix,
Okay.
and then we're gonna decide. So
Then we're going to decide.
We've gone through everything. We agree. This is a tight race. So the last thing I could rely on is just straight up listenability, right? If I could only listen to one of these songs and the other one gets disappeared from the universe forever, which song do you kill? Right? It's hard. And you're listening to both songs and I can't decide. I'm like on round 3 of listening to these songs back to back. And then it hits me. I'm sorry to say, but we are going to kill What a Fool Believes. This is what I'm saying in my head. But only because if you listen to This Is It, you get both of them, right? Michael McDonald also does backing vocals on This Is It, right? Whereas if you listen to What a Fool Believes, even though Kenny Loggins co-wrote it, you don't hear him in the song. So that was what sent me over the edge and said, you know what? I feel like I might want to crown a new champion, because I think the fact that you get both of them on the track, you hear both of them sing, you recognize both of their voices, and they also co-wrote it. That's kind of what sent This Is It over the edge for me. So I don't know. Tell me, am I way out of bounds here? And
no, that's a great point. That's a great point. Is that we said at the beginning, there's no losers here because we've got McDonald and Loggins on both sides of this battle, but we only hear their voices in one of those songs. And truthfully, just from a meaning standpoint, the one I'd rather listen to over and over again is This Is It. You know,
Positive.
it's not What a Fool Believes. I think it's such a well-written song. But I as far as relatability and probably what people need these days, I think they need This Is It. So, I mean, I'm casting my vote for that one.
I think I am too. I can't believe it, but I just feel like, okay, this is something that I read this somewhere and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to zhuzh this up to fit for the show.
Yeah.
I think that What a Fool Believes may have built the yacht, but This Is It makes you believe in why you're on it.
I love that. I love that. Yes. It may have started as a revenge yacht, but now it's a, positive thing in your life and a triumphant moment. And so I think we're going to give a triumphant moment to a triumphant song. So This Is It is our champion of season 3 of the battle. It is the ultimate yacht rock song. Sorry, Yachtski scale. We are bumping it up from 4 all the way to number 1. We will bump down What a Fool Believes. But I mean, listen to all of it. Go back and listen to all these songs that we featured this season. And you know what? Hit us up on social media. I'm sure there's plenty we forgot or didn't include in this bracket, and we could probably talk through. That could be a whole other episode if we wanted to make it, of like songs that maybe could have been in contention. But we are at Super Awesome Mix on Threads and Instagram, and of course on YouTube at Super Awesome Mix. But Jen, we did it. Finished another season of the battle. I mean, this is amazing.
We're sailing off into the sunset to figure out what season 4 is going to look like. What are we going to do next? I know.
So if you've got ideas, let us know. We'd love to hear about them. Okay. But in the meantime, we will bring this ship to dock and winterize it because it's getting colder out there. And we will get ready for season 4. So make sure you subscribe and share this podcast. Give us a good rating so more people can find us. And Jen and I will get to work on a new idea for season 4 of the battle. So for Jen, this is Matt, and we'll see you next season.